Hey there, welcome to Violet's DIY Style. I'm Violet. If this is your first time to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Also click on that bell button so you can be notified every time I upload a new tutorial. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. So today I'm going to start sharing with you all the fall decor that I'm going to be making for 2022. So the first two items that I'm going to be making for this season are this adorable vase and also this wreath. So the first one we're going to be making is the wreath, and all you're going to do is basically get any kind of ribbons that you may have that you want to use for fall, depending on the colors that you want to be using. Since I had a whole bunch of different random what I call fall colors, I decided to go ahead and just use all of them up, as many as I could. And what I did was just kind of cut each one of the ribbons up about 7 to 8 inches in length. And as you can see, of course, depending on what style or theme you're going for this holiday season, are the colors that you're going to be picking out. As you can see, I'm using green, brown, yellow, and then also some fall ribbons that I had from last year that I'm just going to go ahead and use. This one has orange and brown. Some of them are wired and some of them are not wired. So just go ahead and grab any kind of ribbon, any size you may want to use for your wreath. I'm also using some of these mesh ribbons that I had from Dollar Tree as well. I'm not one to make a lot of bows for my indoor home decor, but for wreaths, I love making huge bows, or at least with the different colorful and bright, cheerful colors, just because I know it's going to be outdoors and when people come in, or they can see it from the driveway or even the road. So I really like to use a lot of different colors and ribbons on my outside wreath doors. I don't know about you guys, but that's something that you'll tend to see when I make wreaths for outdoors. You'll see that I usually make it with a lot of different colors and try to make it as big as possible. So all I'm going to do is just pinch each one of the ribbons right in the middle, and then I'm going to go ahead and put them right in together and stack them together, just using one of my hands to kind of hold them all in place, and then my second hand just to pinch them and place them where they belong. So again, you can use as many colors as you like, depending on your style or what you're deciding to use for fall. So once you're done and you're happy with the size of your ribbon, just go ahead and grab any kind of rope, or like I'm just grabbing a smaller ribbon and just tying it right in the center and making sure I double knot it in the back to make sure that each one of these bows stays in place. Now I did a few of these. I did about 5 different style bows, and I didn't really make them all exactly the same. I just made sure I used the same colors and the same ribbons, but I didn't use them or stack them all the same. So once you're done, what I did was I had a few extra pieces of the ribbon, so I just kind of cut them smaller to make thinner ribbon sizes. And I'm just going to make one more smaller bow to put right on the top of our scarecrow wreath. So again, as soon as you're done just with your bow and you're happy with the size and the amount of ribbon that you placed in it, just go ahead and grab another piece of ribbon and tie it right in the center. So go ahead and set all those bows aside and then grab one of these wire wreath witch hats, and then I'm going to grab some of the burlap ribbon and I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping and gluing my ribbon around my frame. So this year I thought they were going to come out with different frames for Halloween and for fall, but I didn't see any different ones, at least at the local Dollar Trees that I shop at. But if you guys have seen any different metal wreaths frames that at your local Dollar Tree, let us know in the comments below. That way we can keep an eye out and maybe see if we can find them at our local stores. But the only two that I've seen are the witch's hat, which is this one, and then also a pumpkin wire wreath frame that they've had for a few years already. But again, if you guys have seen any new ones, let us all know in the comments below. But as you can see, what I decided to do was go ahead and glue each ribbon individually instead of wrapping it around the frame. And I just did this because I only had one roll of this ribbon, and I wasn't sure that if I wrapped it around I was going to have enough. But of course you can wrap it around and you don't have to worry about individually gluing each one of these strips onto your frame. You can just wrap the ribbon all the way around. But since I only had one, I wanted to make sure I had enough, so this is the way I did mine. I just go ahead and cut each one of the strips and then just glue it, making sure that each one of the strips is a little bit longer than the frame. That way I can fold it over to attach it to the glue, and just go ahead and pull on that ribbon to make sure it's nice and tight around the frame. And you're just going to continue this until you're completely fill and cover up the entire frame. There's so many ways and so many things you can do with one of these witch hat frames to do even for Christmas and other holidays. I know I've used these for even like an Easter bunny wreath, and also for a Santa Claus wreath as well. So you tend to try to buy things at Dollar Tree when they are there, and try to think about when you can use them, because sometimes you can use them for other holidays or seasons. So at least that's the way I do it. I tend to buy maybe one or two, or know that I can redo or remove some of the crafts that I've done and just reuse the supplies. For example, this frame for another holiday. I don't know if you guys do that, but I tend to do that quite a bit. So once you're done gluing all the ribbon all the way to the top of the hat, what I decided to do was go ahead and add one strip of the ribbon at the bottom part, just because I want to add those ribbons without having to use wiring. So all I did was just grab one of the ribbons, and I just started kind of figuring out how I could glue it onto the bottom without having to use more than one strip. So what I did was I just hot glued it flat onto the bottom part of the witch's hat. Just carefully add your glue right at the edge of the ribbon, and then you're just going to go ahead and glue it around the frame bottom part of your wreath hat. So once I was done, I just went and cut off the extra ribbon that I had, and then I folded over the bottom part of the ribbon just to go ahead and make that the witch's hat frame so you could see the details of it. So just go ahead and add some more glue and then wrap that bottom part of the ribbon over just to cover it up so it could show the frame, the witch's hat's frame. So once you're done, all you're gonna do is start decorating with your bows, and all I did was just kind of lay one or two down and just figure out which way I wanted to glue them on, and then I just went ahead and started gluing them with my hot glue gun. Now again, you don't have to do it this way. You could just leave the bottom part of the witch's hat without any ribbon, and you can use wiring to wrap each one of these or wire each one of these ribbons onto the bottom part, but I just chose to do it this way. So just go ahead and start adding all of your bows to the bottom part of your witch's hat. And I made 5 bows for the bottom part of my witch's hat. Of course, you can make more than that, but I thought 5 made it look nice and full. I made sure to put quite a bit of the glue on each one of them just because I know I'm going to have it outside, and here in Florida it's still really hot, so I wanted to make sure that everything was going to stay in place. So what I decided to do was just pinch the top part of the witch's hat and bend it over just to give it that cute, fun, whimsical look of a scarecrow hat. Then with the smaller tiny bow that we made, I'm just going to glue it to the tip of that hat. Now you can finish here and it looks really adorable, but I wanted it to look more like a scarecrow hat. So what I did was I grabbed some of the extra little pieces of ribbon that I had, and I just kind of cut them in different shapes and then just glued them on like patches onto my hat. What I'm doing is just kind of cutting them the shape I wanted and removing the wiring on each one of these ribbons if they had any wiring before I just add a little bit of glue and glue them onto my hat. And there you have an adorable, not so scary fall or Halloween witch's hat or scarecrow hat. Our next DIY is a really simple, more modern style, but I love the way it looked. I just grabbed 2 vases and I decided to go ahead and paint the vases white. Now you can spray paint them if you want. I just wanted it to have more of that farmhouse rustic look. So what I did was I decided to paint and give it one good coat, let it completely dry, and then give it a second coat. Then once I was done giving the second coat on each one of the vases, I let them completely dry again. And then I decided to make it really adorable and just make it look like a ghost. So I just grabbed any marker I had and just kind of make a ghost face on my vase. And then I grabbed some black paint and just kind of painted that in. And then once you're done, you have these adorable vases that you can use as a table centerpiece. And there you have it, 2 of my fall decors for 2022. Can't wait to make some more with you guys. If you guys enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share it with friends and family. Until next time, you guys stay blessed. Bye.